for racing. Good evening, I'm Stephanie Laverne, your host for Rogers Sports Exclusive. Tonight we'll feature heats from 4 different classes of cars, which are Pro Stock, Hobby, Mini Legends, and Sportsman. Joining me on the broadcast team is David Malamed and Steve Young. Gentlemen, what can the viewers expect to see in tonight's racing?
Well, Stephanie, it's been a few weeks since we've had good weather like this, and it's been an interruption for a number of teams and drivers getting their rhythm to get going in the 2004 racing season, David.
Well, that's the unfortunate part of being in Canada. This part of the season, we have to contend with Mother Nature and rain, and we've certainly had our fair share, Steve. We've only been able to run 2 of the last 5 races that we've had scheduled, but I'm sure our racers will show their talents tonight, and they'll be able to put on a good show for us.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go. There's no doubt about it. All that work that goes on in the shops during the week, they want to get out and put that to the test right here on the 3/8 of a mile paved oval.
Well, speaking to the drivers just before the race, they're ready to go. They can't wait. They've been expecting to run all these past weeks, but haven't been able to, and they're ready to give us a go.
So we're looking forward to a great night of auto racing here, Stephanie.
Well, so am I. It should be a beautiful and exciting night tonight. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned to Rogers Sports Exclusive for loads of fun. Coming up next, Pro Stock Heat 1.
Welcome back to Ottodrome International Speedway. Stephanie Laverne, Steve Young, and David Malamed on trackside as we get ready for our feature races here tonight at Ottodrome International. And same 4 classes we saw earlier on, only this is for all the marbles, David.
This is where the excitement really begins. This is for the points. This is for the money. This is where the cars are going to get out there and they're really going to bang them together and go for the win. We're really excited tonight to top guys in all the different classes here today. We're going to probably start off, I believe, with our our Pro Stock class. We're just waiting for them to get lined up. We do again want to remind you of those Can-Am Midgets coming June 30th. That's the Wednesday, just before Canada Day. You don't want to miss that. They haven't been here for years and years. And if you've never seen them, this is something you don't want to miss. Picture little mini legends with wings on the top. There'll be 20 plus of them, and they'll probably do a lap in about 16 seconds as opposed to about 21 seconds, which is most of our cars. So they're very, very fast, very exciting racing, and that's happening on June the 30th.
Yeah, the Can-Am Midgets are one-of-a-kind race machines, basically modeled after, a sprint car or what they call midgets in USAC. But these are a little bit smaller. They're 3/4 size of that, 3/4 size of a regular midget. So small cars, but those big Kawasaki power plants that you see on one of the bigger motorcycles is the power plant, and they are very, very entertaining race car. And of course, the wing enables them to really scoot through the turns. And they've already had a couple of races and a couple of they've had 20-25 car fields so far this season down at Flamborough and over at Sunset and up at Peterborough, where they've already been this season, and 2 or 3 different winners already this year in that division. So it's been very tight, and because it's been so tight, that guarantees us a pretty good field coming up for that event on June the 30th. And the good thing is you don't have to go to work the next day, as the next day is Canada Day as well, so that makes it even better.
Yeah, I'm sure our bar will be very busy that night, Steve. People not having to worry to go back to work. We do have, of course, right after that on the Saturday, the July 3rd, our Rock and Race weekend. We've got that big semi-pro drag race coming up. Open invitation, no membership required. We're hosting the first annual one of those, followed by a 100-lap enduro, and then a huge demolition derby at the end. If we have any time left over in the night, we're even going to do some open drag cruise for anyone who's there, any car that you've got, run what you brung type of thing. So don't miss that July 3rd. It's only $10 admission for an entire day of racing from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. This will be the biggest, one of the biggest events that we've got happening here at Ottodrome all year. We're trying to incorporate all of the different things, different types of events. We've got our standings coming up for our Pro Stock, Steve, who are getting ready to run.
Yeah, Mike Hennick comes into the night as the points leader in the Pro Stock division, coming off that last feature win that we had on our Rogers Sports Exclusive. Dave Waite second in the points, third Kenny Fisher. Ken Sproul having a good year so far in the number 99 car, the former dirt tracker, making the move over to pavement a couple seasons back. Earl Wiley, who's probably not had the kind of season that he'd hoped in his new 76 car. They're still working the bugs out of that in the number 5 spot. Bruce Baldock, the rookie, has done a nice job and comes into the night 6th in the point standings. Veteran Kevin Ramsey, probably a little disappointed with his showing so far this season. He runs 7 in the points at the 43. And Jimmy Peters, who's just made the jump up into the Pro Stock division, of course, now 8th in the point standings in car number 13. So that's the way they stand coming into tonight's race program, and still very tight race early in the season. Lots of races to be run.
Well, you know, Jimmy Peters, it's his first run at going up from hobby stock to pro stock. I'm sure he won't be at the bottom there for quite a while. I'm sure he'll move up the ranks pretty quickly.
And I see Stephanie Lavert has joined Ron Ridge on the flag stand. Big up in the quotient up there now. Vast improvement over the way it was beforehand. And there's Stephanie waving to everybody at home. We get ready for our feature races. 25 laps for the Pro Stocks to start it off. And the field gradually making their way out. Bruce Baldock in the 34. Looks like he's going to go away from the pole position. Bruce, the rookie, in that 34 car. Earl Wiley in car number 76 will go outside of the front row out of Carp, Ontario. 99 and Kenny Sproul from Ottawa will go in. Oh, now we got it all messed up as some of the cars late coming out. And Ramsey going to the back of the field by the looks of it. I think Kevin probably hasn't worked out all the bugs on that 43 car to his satisfaction just yet, judging by the fact that he's elected to go to the back of the field, although he is waving to a fan there as he went by into turn number 1. Ottodrome Speedway pace car with the brand new light package leading him around. So Fisher will go outside of the second row in the 33. Kenny is from Carlton Place. Row 3, Mike Hennick from Elmer, the points leader. And beside him will be the 25 of Dave Waite, Wade out of Smiths Falls. And we have the 13 of Jimmy Peters and the 43 of Kevin Ramsey in your 4th row.
Some of the other lap sponsors that we've got for this class, as mentioned before, we've got Jeff's Auto Glass, we've got Ferguson Graphics, Burke's Car Care, Ottawa Clutch, Grant Street Garage, the Pampered Chef, Sign Design, Perth, McPherson's Auto Care, Dave Wood Constructions, Bank Street Part Source. Lots of companies getting on board to support this class.
Dave Brown down trackside got them all doubled up, and Stephanie and Ron ready to give them the green flag to begin tonight's feature races. Kevin Ramsey still working in the tires on the 43 car. Headed for turn number 3 and 4. Bulldog leading him around. Green flag is in the air and feature racing underway. 2 by 2 they go into turn number 1 for the first time. And it's Bulldog in the orange crate 34 leading him down the back chute. Wiley running second in the 76. Fisher goes right to work in the 33 as he rides in the third spot. Oh, you see how sideways the 76 of Earl Wiley was. Earl never one to back out of the gas pedal, though, just kept the hammer down and holds on to the number 3 spot. Working on the outside of the 25 of Waite right now. Down the back straightaway. Lead is Bulldog, the rookie in the 34, who had a rough ride in the second qualifying heat, but looks a whole lot smoother as he runs out front. Here come feature time. Fisher running in second spot in the 33, then the 25 of Waite is third. Wiley's still real loose with the 76. Here comes Fisher up the outside, pulls alongside Bulldog going into turn 3. Battle is for the lead as they come through 3 and 4. Wheel to wheel, hub to hub, coming off at turn number 4. Battle for the lead. Still going at it all the way down the front straightaway. Bulldog with a slide edge. Little scrape there and a new tire mark on the side of the 34, but he holds on to that number 1 spot. You see the suspension working hard in that 34 as he gets the rumble strips coming off at turn number 2, which are right down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Bulldog still the leader, front 4 running nose to tail. Wiley almost got it into the wall, coming off at turn number 4 there. Bruce Bulldog under pressure, the rookie not cracking so far. Oh, some gentle body massage there from the 33 of Kenny Fisher as he went right up on the rear deck of the 34 of Bulldog, and Bruce knows he's there, if nothing else, right now.
I think Kenny's trying to give him a gentle reminder that look out, here I come, because he's not going to want to stay behind him for much longer.
And Bruce gets bumped again, coming off at turn 2. Car got loose. Fisher really didn't have any place to go that time as the 34 broke a little loose. And look at how close those 4 are now. It is real tight racing up front. The 34 of Bruce Bulldog, your leader. Fisher tries to get underneath. Down the front straightaway, cannot get it done. Although look how close they are. Bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper. All the way the front 4. And it is really stacked up, and Earl Wiley's closing back in to make it a 4 or 5 car battle for the lead. This is what you want to see. Oh, Fisher barely keeps it off the wall. Coming off a turn 4, the car went sideways. Fisher with a kick save and a beauty there to keep it going on the right direction. Bulldog still the leader in the 34, but boy, he is getting pressured. Taking it from all sides right now. Here's Fisher peeking down the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, and Waite tries to go up top. He wants to take the second spot away from Fisher. Up on the high side of the racetrack as they come off at turn 2. Fisher and Waite in the battle for second. Look at how close they are this time. All the way around the speedway, wheel to wheel, and they haven't touched yet. And they go 3 wide as Bulldog got loose off of 4. 3 wide going into turn 1. Who's going to lift? Nobody lifted, but Waite goes from 3rd to 1st with the move. And Dave Waite, with the miraculous move, takes over the number 1 spot. Bulldog falls back into 2nd, although Fisher's outside of him again. They touch going into turn 3. It's getting physical now. And Fisher struggles to keep it off the wall once again. Dave Waite, the new leader. Bulldog holds on to 2nd in the orange 34. Fisher 3rd in the 33. Hennig in 4th in the 71. 5th is Wiley in the 76th. And then the 13 of Jimmy Peters doing a nice job right now as well. Now Bulldog goes high up the racetrack off at turn number 4. And Fisher will finally get by. But by the time he's by, Dave Waite has cruised it out to about a 10-car length advantage. Hennig also goes by the 34 and picks up the number 2 spot. Dave Waite in the 25 as we reach the halfway mark. 13 of 25 complete. And look at this, back in the field, Wiley going at it with Jimmy Peters. Oh, and they are really going at each other. Full contact auto racing out there right now. Little WWE and everybody, I think. Wade is gone, but this battle continues for 5th. Keep an eye on Wiley and Peters. They're wheel to wheel going into 1. Who's going to give ground? Oh, Jimmy's really cranking on that wheel. He really had it sideways. And now Earl's going right back after that back bumper down the back straightaway. Dave Wade enjoys where he is because there's nobody around him right now. Clear sailing for that beautifully prepared number 25 car. Sharp looking automobile, David.
He's done a nice job this year on it. He's got some good sponsors behind him, and this, like I said, this class, it's exciting stock car racing for sure. This is the up and coming class to watch, and I think we're going to see some good things this year coming from Pro Stock.
Just about every car has got some tire marks there.
You know, Steve, it's not always just who's battling for first and second. That's the beauty of stock car racing. There's battles going on all over the place. So you can't just look at your leaders here. You've got to look at the whole field. Like I said, battles going on everywhere.
And this battle is for the number 2 spot right now. Kenny Fisher has it. Mike Hennick wants it. And Hennick is not happy being behind that car. And whoa, very, very close as they went into turn 3. Hennick trying to get a wheel underneath them so he can pull them coming down the straightaway, but just cannot get that front end foot where he wants it just yet. Whoa, he gives him a little tap coming off of turn 2. Fisher says, enough of this, I'm going to guard the bottom. If you're going to go around me, you might have to go through me. And Hennick is going to try to go inside this time. Now he fakes it. The old Dale Earnhardt go one way, then go the other move. And that almost works. They'll try another lap. Fisher, though, is having to be so concerned about Hennick, he's lost total track of the leader, Wade, who's just motored off into the distance in front of these two. Hennick trying to get locking up the brakes going into turn 1, trying everything he can to get by Kenny Fisher, but Fisher will not give an inch. He's making that car wide, he's making it smooth, and when you do those two things, it's hard to get by. Although the brakes are already starting to heat up on both these cars, if you notice, particularly going into turn 3, you see where the brakes are just lighting right up because they're working those cars, and even Hennick with brake. Oh, and they get a lap car that can act as a pick. They go 3 wide down the back straightaway. There's not a lot of room there. Hennick gets his wheel underneath the 33 of Fisher, trying to force his way by, coming off of turn 4, battle for second. Fisher barely keeps it off the wall. Hennick drives by and actually waves, said, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I'm in second spot and you're in third now.
You know, sometimes you lose sight of how fast these cars really are going when you're watching them. They're going between 70 and 80 miles an hour going into those corners, and they're really having to dig into those brakes. These are not your normal cars, so don't think that anyone can just do this and you can just bring any car out to do it. These cars are built for this, and they're built for this type of abuse. Pro stocks, they're banging each other out there. Perhaps a few of them want to go into our July 3rd demolition derby, because sometimes you think that that's what they're in.
Down to 2 laps to go. Wade is locked in the traffic down the back straightaway as he has opened it up to a full straightaway advantage over Hennick in second spot. Wade putting the 43 of Ramsey a lap down, now working on Earl Wiley as the white flag is out. Stephanie doing a nice job as assistant flag person up there. Down the back straightaway as Wade will put Wiley a lap down, and he's about to close one out going into turn 3. Oh, and Wiley not too anxious to go a lap down. Here they come to the checkered flag. Win will go to Wade in the 25. Stephanie wave at the checkered flag. Hennick finishes second in the 71. Fisher in third in the 33. And we got one into the wall up there in turn number 4. Bruce Baldock on the last lap really crunches the pavement. Oh my. The whole side of the sheet metal ripped right off the car from the contact, and he was having a good run in the number 4 spot when that happened. The 34, and you can see the safety crew on the scene already. Just making sure there's no fire or anything under there. Here's your winner in car number 25, Dave Waite. And they are working quickly. Bruce is out of the car, is okay.
They're probably going to send the ambulance in there too, Steve, just to make sure. We just heard also that Roger's camera has also survived up in that corner. So that's a good thing. Good thing they moved that back a little earlier on. That seems to be a problematic corner. Dennis, the cameraman, Dennis Prevost, I believe. He's all safe. He's all fine. And again, those concrete barriers are there for a reason, and they're pretty unforgiving, as you can see there now. And we've got Sands ambulance out there. Everything is fine. With the drivers all fine, they're just looking over the damage. They'll get that car up there shortly. You know, if you're celebrating a birthday out there, if you're a young person out there and you're looking to celebrate a birthday, this is a really great place to come, and we can certainly give you an experience that you won't forget. You can come up and we'll let you wave the checkered flag on our race. We'll take it along in the pace car. So if you're planning on a party and you're bringing all your friends out, you should let us know.
And the safety crew being very careful. They're going to give it a little shot of fire extinguisher right there as they get it inside the engine to make sure everything's ship shape. Bruce walking away from the car, as we said, appears to be A-okay. They might insist on him taking a ride in the ambulance just to get checked out. That's a pretty heavy contact with the 34 car. And the Ottawa towing folks getting off on the hook. The speedy dry going down on the speedway. There's a lot of fluids coming out of the engine on the 34 car.
Is that speedy dry or cat litter? Did we ever
kitty
decide
litter better.
that?
I think it's kitty litter.
You know, I've had an opportunity to really work with the speedy dry lately during our motorcycle days, because those bikes go down and their engine casings are cracking all over the place. And it's actually quite an amazing thing. You put it on it absorbs it all in this Absorball compound, and then you just sweep it away, and the track is perfectly dry. So it really does a really, really good job. We do, of course, tell the drivers they can't run with any type of antifreeze in there. That type of lubricant that's in your radiator will cause it to really be more slippery, and the Absorball doesn't work all too well on that, but it does work well on oil spills and on water. And you can see our cleaning crew down there. Scotty from Extreme Paintball is working hard. Ottawa Towing is working hard to get that out, and we should be underway shortly.
Yep, Bruce Baldock, who would have finished in the fourth spot behind Dave Waite, Mike Hennick, and Ken Fisher. Unfortunately, last lap, last turn, it all comes awry, and unfortunately, it would have been number 4 behind those 3 guys for the 34, but it was not to be on this particular night.
There's nothing worse than having that sort of thing happen right on the last lap, Steve. The race is over. It's time to get into the pits, time to load up and relax for the evening. And this is really an unfortunate thing that happens, but that 34 car, I'm sure he'll be fixed up and ready to go for next race.
And back in action next Wednesday night with a full race program, including the Pro Trucks on hand here next Wednesday night. 7 o'clock is race time at Ottodrome International Speedway, which is located on Highway 7, just on the way to Carleton Place. If you're coming from downtown, 4 kilometers past the Corral Center, take the Highway 7 exit, and it's on the right-hand side.
Yeah, we're just 5 minutes from the Corral Center. Everyone thinks that because we say Stittsville or Highway 7, that's really far away. But it's only 5 minutes from the Corral Center and 20 minutes from downtown. So it's really not that far away.
And that 34 car is just coming past us right now, and oh my, is it ever messed up.
Those concrete walls are not forgiving at all.
Yeah.
They're meant to stop the cars and stay on the track. And
it stopped it all right.
It certainly has done its job this time.
Wow. That's one of the most damage I think I've seen in one of the cars here in a long time.
They just picked that that car up too. Of course, you do want to make sure you check out all of our points, current leaders, and all the information on our website at www.ottodrome.com, where we'll list all the upcoming events, things that are happening at the track, any scheduling changes at our website. So when you're out there surfing, make sure you check it out, ottodrome.com. We're really excited to have our trucks back next week. These guys have been in a bit of a hiatus because of the weather. They're itching to go, and we just can't wait to have them back. Always a fan favorite are the pro trucks, and we understand that we'll have even more trucks than the first race. We got, I believe, Steve Benoit should be back, the 99 from his honeymoon actually, and he should be back shortly. We got a shot there of Ronnie Ridge and Stephanie Laverne. Ron Ridge, our race director. Dave Brown, of course, our tech director out there on the track, waiting just to line up our next class, doing an excellent job out there filling in for our flagman who is away this week. All of our staff here at Ottodrome doing a fantastic job.
Hobby stocks coming out onto the racetrack, and I imagine they're going to run a couple more laps of caution before we get going. Maybe not. There's a white flag coming up. Points coming into this race. Kavanaugh in the 49, the points leader. Sherman second. Broom in the third spot. Illingworth not with us tonight. Fourth. Cuthbertson, that's the other Cuthbertson. That's Matt Cuthbertson. And Sean Higgins, who's not with us tonight either, in the 40, came into the night with those positions. Here's the way they'll line up for our feature go-round. 20 laps the distance. 81 of Bruce Mackinson will go off the pole out of Richmond. Beside him in the number 88 is Kevin Perrin from Woodlawn. Row 2 on the inside is the number 17 of Jason Renwick. Renwick out of Elmont in the number 17. And beside him in the number 2 is Scott Cuthbertson from Nepean. Row 3. And they are all race. Some of them are racing already, and some of them don't look like they want to race yet. So I imagine we won't get a green flag this time after all, as we'll have to get everybody reset in the right order. Some are anxious, some not so much. Casey Kavanaugh in the 49 goes inside of row 3, and beside him in the number 91 is Robert Broom from Canada. Row 4, the 99 of Paul Sherman, and the number 4 of Ian Tyler. Tyler out of Perth in his debut appearance in Hobby Stock Featureland. Of course, ran that second heat in that number car number 4.
Scott Cuthbertson in the number 2 Matt Hare Canada Broken Q, row 2 there. I think you're going to see him make a charge for the front line right away. Him and followed by Robert Broom in your 91. Watch those two guys. I'm sure they're the guys who are going to make this exciting right from the get-go.
Speaking of the get-go, we're ready to get down to business. The green flag is already out. The race underway, and 88 Kevin Perrin off the outside pole as Stephanie Laverne watches him go into that number 1 spot in the purple people leader, number 88. Mackinson running second in the 81, although Cuthbertson making short work of him, going down the back straightaway, picks up the number 2 spot. Mackinson falls all the way back into third spot in car number 81. Robert Broom now working to the outside of him, trying to move up into the number 3 position. Cuthbertson with a run down the inside, trying to go after the lane, but Kevin Perrin a little too strong in the number 88. Aaron for years ran the 81 car, but he came a couple weeks late. Caution is out on the Speedway. And I'm not sure what the problem is, but the caution is out. And they're going to start it all over again, I'm told. Sometimes the safe thing to do, David, is to let them go one time around and then bring out the caution when they're a little spread out.
Well, Ron Ridge and Dave Brown really have a control over this race. They want to make sure it's off to a fair start. They don't want to give anyone an unfair advantage. And, safety is their number 1 concern. So when they're not going to let it go until they say it's ready to go.
I will stop here, and I'll get Sparky to give me the order that I'll through with that.
So we'll have to get the deck restacked the way they started, so that's going to take a little time here, and everybody will go back to their original starting position, as officially there are no laps complete. And they'll bring him to a stop on the front straightaway and get everybody put in the right order again. Bruce Mackinson goes back up onto the pole position.
That, of course, is Dave Brown, our tech director down there, directing traffic, making sure everyone's in their right position. I guess we had the deck shuffled wrong on the last one, and he's just going to correct that.
Actually, put in a plug for our sister stations, Rogers Sportsnet, and showing some great CASCAR racing from Cayuga in the week ahead, and saw a race from Delaware not too long ago, some great competition there. So Rogers very involved in racing throughout Ontario and right across the country with their coverage, right at the local level and at the more the national level as well.
But we're very excited to have Rogers here at Ottodrome International Speedway. This new partnership we're hoping to bring up to Ottawa a new level of excitement. This track has been here for 43 years. It's Ottawa's best kept secret. We think it's time that secret's out and people come out and enjoy some local stock car racing. And with the help of partner companies like Rogers, we're certainly going to do that.
And field has been restacked, and we are going to give it a second shot to get this one underway. So no laps complete. This will be a complete restart like nothing ever happened. Once again, Mackinson and Kevin Perrin making up the front row. As they go through turns 3 and 4, they're looking at Ronnie, or Ronnie's looking at them. Ronnie says, "Green lights, gentlemen." And off they go into the distance. And Cuthbertson again, right on the attack, right off the start. Cuthbertson to the outside of Perrin for the lead as they go down the back straightaway. He's trying to go from the second row to first place by the time they reach turn number 3. Takes it a little bit wide. And can he finish it off? Coming off at turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Cuthbertson does lead lap number 1.
Both these Cuthbertson brothers from the Canada Broken Q are the guys to watch. Scotty is in, like I said before, in every enduro race, every type of race that he can be in. He's got the experience. I think you're going to see Robert Broom in the 91. You'll probably see him come up real quick too through the pack, and of course Casey Kavanaugh in the 49. You don't want to count him out too soon. He's also been around the track and had a lot of seat time.
Looks like Casey's got some sparks flying underneath that 49 car as he goes through the turns. I'm not sure if he's dragging something like a tailpipe or something of that ilk, but right now he's running in the number 6 position. You can see those sparks underneath the race car, though. That's not a good sign. And it doesn't look like he's dragging anything, but it looks like he might be making a pit stop. And yes, he does pull off the racetrack, so obviously he knew there was something amiss with that race car, does the same thing, pulls it off. Right now, Cuthbertson the leader. Kevin Perrin runs in second spot. Broom and Mackinson battling it out for the number 3 position. Mackinson with the edge right now, but Broom's doing his best. Sherman in the 99, rounding out your top 5. Ian Tyler also pulled the number 4 off, and his car sounded like it had a miss in the engine, so he brought it to the pits. Here's Broom making his move, trying to take away the number 3 spot from Mackinson. It's a wheel underneath him coming off at turn 3. That's through 4. Battle for the number 3 spot. And they're just about dead even at the flag stand as Cuthbertson continues to wheel the number 2 car in that number 1 spot. Broom finishes off the pass, moves up into 3rd now behind Kevin Perrin, who's starting to get that 88 car rolling a little bit better now, and he is now within striking distance of Cuthbertson. Took a while, kind of a weird line coming off turn 4 there. Meanwhile, Perrin got very close to that wall entering turn number 1. Had to make the quick left turn to avoid that. Cuthbertson the leader. Seven laps complete of our 20-lap feature. And Robert Broom now starting to work towards the front. Broom running in the number 3 spot, but starting to close the distance between himself and the 2 leaders. And Robert has inched in another couple car lengths, and he's going to be on Kevin Perrin's rear deck in about a lap and a half, I think. And you can see the distance shrinking each time by. Here's Perrin making his move right now. Tried to dive down low going into turn number 1, but Kevin had him covered. Robert had an idea, but couldn't get it finished. Going to try again going down into turn number 3. Right there in the back bumper. They're not touching. Robert, one of the cleaner race car drivers. You'll see he likes to do it the right way. And you can see Perrin giving him a little room on the bottom of the racetrack as the 88 is pushing up the racetrack a little bit. That opened the door for Broom to pull alongside as they go into turn 3, wheel to wheel through 3 and 4. Neither one wanting to give, and Broom's got a good run coming down the front straightaway as getting into lap traffic is the leader. Cuthbertson now puts the 17 of Renwick a lap down. Broom sweeps by the second place car. Now he's got a clean line as he tries to catch the 2 of Cuthbertson. Boy, Scott's done a nice job here, David, in this one. Took advantage of that first lap, and boy, he really hasn't turned the wheel wrong since.
Well, I called it. I said Scott was going to come up, and Robert Broom there came up in second place. I know these guys, and I knew this was going to happen. I'd still look out for Kavanaugh, the 49. I know he's back there, but he's going to give it a good run at the end here too. Scott in that mad hair, broken cue Canada, doing an excellent job. His other half, his brother, should be out here another time as well. When you get both of these guys on the track at the same time, look out.
Yeah, Robert is now within striking distance of Cuthbertson as they go down the back straightaway. Broom. Oh boy, Cuthbertson really got it sideways going through turn 3. And that allows Broom to be right on the back bumper with 5 laps remaining, so still plenty of time. When you get that close, now you start exploring your options. You start looking at where the car might not be handling that well, and that's where you pounce. And if I was to guess, I'd be looking at turns 3 and 4, because it looks like it's pushing and going into 3 and loose coming off 4 for the number 2, Scott Cuthbertson.
Well, one little mistake, and that's what can happen. And I think that this is going to open the door for Robert Broom with just a couple of laps left. And I think Scott's really going to have to watch out, or Robert's going to just blow right by him.
Very tight racing is, whoa, the 2 car, really a handful coming off of turn 2, or turn 4, I should say. And the 2 car is holding onto that lead as Broom himself went pretty far up the racetrack that time. They thunder down the back straightaway. It's getting down to nitty-gritty time as they race it hard for the lead. Coming off of turn 4. 2 laps to go as they come by this time. Wheel to wheel down the front straightaway. Cuthbertson with a slight edge going into turn number 1. Broom trying to hold him off, going the long way around off of turn 2. Pops the nose of the 91 out in front. Can he get it done? Cuthbertson hard on it down into turn number 3. Whoa! Broom goes way high. Bicycles up the track, but then makes a nice save and actually led that lap. 1 to go, 3/8 of a mile to victory lane. Broom on the outside, Cuthbertson on the inside. They're still battling. They touch coming off at turn 2. Broom pulls a car length up. Still room down on the inside for Cuthbertson though. He drives underneath him. Broom goes way high up in turn 4. Cuthbertson back in the lead, gets it sideways. Here they come to the line, and it's Cuthbertson by half a car length at the most at the checkered flag. Oh my, as Stephanie gives him the checkered flag. Cuthbertson and Broom in a classic, and Scott Cuthbertson hangs on.
Well, Hobby Class showing that they can still put on the excitement, they can still put on the show with some good competitors like Scott Cuthbertson in your number 2 and Robert Broom in your 91 and all the other competitors. Kevin Perrin in your 88 gave an excellent show there, and we thank them for that.
That was very clean. They went at it for the last 6 laps. They touched once, I think, coming off of turn 2, but in that close of quarters, that's remarkable. Scott Cuthbertson picking up the win in car 2. Second spot going to Robert Broom at the 91, and Kevin Perrin will get credit for the number 3 spot in car number 88 as Cuthbertson takes the victory lap. Didn't take him long to get that helmet off after getting into victory lane.
Well, Scott said that if he won, I should pass on one message to everybody, and that would be, it is hot in that car. It is hot outside. It's hot in that car, and he's just cooling off right now. So there's your hobby stock winners, and the way they've lined up now. Your winner, of course, Scott Cuthbertson, the Mad Hare, Broken Q number 2. Robert Broom, number 91, comes in second, and Kevin Perrin, your number 88, comes in third. Steve, I would like to take this opportunity also to thank members of my family who are working hard here at the Speedway, of course. My mother and father, Sarah and Bernie, my wife, Tammy, my sister, Joyce, my niece, Jennifer, and, of course, my brother, Jamie. This is a family affair here. We talk about racers and generations of racers running from father to son, and my family has taken upon this Speedway and this city, and we're going to try to bring the best possible racing that we can to Ottawa. So thank you all to my family out there for working so hard and getting this show going.
And a fairly happy Scott Cuthbertson in victory lane with a little traditional front straightaway burnout after a feature win.
And your mini legends are now coming out. Current standings, of course. We've got Sean Kennedy in the Waste Management number 32 in first place. Kevin Foisey in your Caribbean Exposure number 57 in second. Corey Walsh in your number 8. And Tyler Kavanaugh in the number 49 in fourth position currently. Rob Gravelin comes up in your number 70 in fifth spot. Shaky David Hodgins in your 64 in sixth. Mike Anderson, who's absent tonight, in the 98 is 7th, and Norm Lynch in the 02 comes up at number 8th in your current point standings. And they're just getting warmed up and ready to take the flag. Ronnie Ridge is giving them the white flag.
One more trip around. We'll set him loose, David. Going away for the pole is Shaky Hodgins in the 64. Beside him is Tyler Kavanaugh in the 49. Row 2 on the inside is the 8 of Corey Walsh. And beside Corey is the 32, Sean Kennedy. Row 3, Kevin Foisey, the red 57. Rob Gravelin in the 70. Norm Lynch going scratch on the field in the 72.
And they're just coming around the back stretch. Ronnie Ridge has the green flag out, ready to give it to them.
Field headed for turns 3 and 4. Shaky Hodgins leading them around, coming off at turn 4. Green flag is out. Here they come, bombing down that front straightaway. Hard into turn number 1. Kavanaugh going to lead them. Boy, is Kennedy putting on the heat, though, as they come off at turn number 2. And Foisey and Walsh right up there in the thick of things here on the first lap. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. Walsh trying to sneak underneath the 57 of Foisey as they come off at turn number 4. Foisey and Kennedy both pushing up the racetrack a little bit. Kavanaugh leads the first lap. Tyler Kavanaugh out of Ottawa in the 49, your early leader. Kennedy runs second. Look at Foisey right there in third in the 57. And Walsh sticks the nose of the number 8 right into the thick of things as well. 4 cars you could throw a blanket over as they thunder through 3 and 4. Walsh trying to scoot up the inside once again. They go 3, 4 wide down the front straightaway. Battling it out for the number 1 spot. Kennedy down the inside has the edge. Foisey trying to go all the way from 4th to 2nd. With one move, almost ran out of real estate coming off at turn 2. Got very close to that outside retaining wall. Sean Kennedy wastes no time. He's your new leader in car number 32. Second is the 49 of Kavanaugh. Foisey runs third in the 57 with Walsh right there in fourth. In the number 8. Shaky Hodgins now coming right back on the field in the 64. And Gravelin in the thick of things as well. Front 7 running nose to tail right now. Kennedy doing a nice job seizing opportunity and now trying to make a getaway, but Kevin Foisey has other ideas. Foisey in the red 57 running in that number 2 spot and chipping away. As they start to spread out for the first time. Boy, that was some great racing early on.
Yeah, Kevin Foisey is not used to being in second place. For the last 2 years, he's been leading this pack. But now that some of these guys have got some good seat time behind them, they're getting used to it. I think we're starting to see a whole new level of competition with the mini legends.
Yep, when somebody's that good, that everybody else has to up their level. And right now, Kennedy is doing that, although that 57 car is getting closer. Oh, Shaky Hodgins loops around the 64. Just saw the start of it, and he's up there between 3 and 4. Gets it turned around and headed in the right direction. I think we're going to be able to stay green. Yes, we will be able to stay green. As Shaky got it headed in the right direction, he'll stay on the lead lap just at the very tail end of it now. Foisey on the attack, goes to the outside of Kennedy down the front straightaway. Trying to do that whole shot going into turn 1. He took it with some pretty good speed going into turn number 1, but Kennedy has the better line coming off of turn 2, holds on to the top spot. Foisey really hustling that car at the top of the speedway, trying to find a way around the 32, even if he has to go the long way around. Kennedy changing up his line to try to knock off the 57. It's really good camera angles that you see in going into turn 1. You can actually see the driver's face behind the wheel and what they're doing with the car, where they're moving their hands. The less they're moving their hands, the better these cars are handling. And it didn't look like Foisey was really having to move that wheel too much, as you can see him just ducking down in there. And then Kennedy not moving the wheel too much either. His car's handling extremely well. Of course, these are very nimble race cars in the first place.
Well, but you know what? As these races keep going on, the Rogers guys are doing a pretty good job. They're getting better and better, and I'm sure they're going to turn into race experts. And this whole sport only gets better.
Sometimes you forget there's people in those race cars, and those shots show you the driver really in action. Kennedy still the leader. Foisey still runs in second. It's about maybe 2 car lengths. Actually, Foisey evaporates it again. Lap after lap. They're going to come into lap traffic here. Shaky Hodgins, who had that little loop by himself, right in front of the 2 leaders. And boy, Kennedy is having to make that 32 car pretty wide to fend off the repeated challenges of Kevin Foisey. And Foisey's getting bolder and bolder with every lap. The pressure on Kennedy. He doesn't want to throw this one away in the trash. He wants to stay out front.
I think Dave Brown has given Shaky Hodgins in the 64 the let the cars go by flag, the blue flag. He's telling them, let the faster guys go on and let's get this race underway.
Oh, and what a move by Foisey. He tried to use the 64 as a pick. Instead of going under him, he went over top and tried to catch Kennedy napping. But Kennedy was up to the task there. That was a great move. Holy cow, he really pulled one out of the back pocket there.
Well, you know, you wonder how these guys even keep these things straight. They're about I'm told they're about 700 pounds, 700 to 1,000 pounds at the most. A 750cc motorcycle engine going about 80 miles an hour around a corner. It's a testament to the skill of these guys.
Well, Foisey's tried that move. He's tried a few different moves, but boy, Kennedy just not giving him much to work with. And opportunity has really not presented itself, and Foisey's tried to force opportunity to prevent itself as well, but that hasn't happened either. So lap after lap, Kennedy stays at the lead. Foisey stays in the number 2 spot. Foisey gives him a little bump going down into turn number 3, just on the back bumper, letting him know he's there, the little chrome bumper routine. Tries to drift out as they go down into turn number 1. He's going to try that outside groove, but the car has not been able to stick. It's not bad going through 1, but he can't finish it off coming off 2. Tries the inside out down the back straightaway. This might work. Ooh, and Kennedy shuts the door, slams it shut right in the face of Kevin Foisey.
You know, Steve, I think this is a brand new engine for Kevin Foisey. He may just be breaking in or not used to it. I believe last race, I think he blew it, his engine. So this is a brand new one they've got in here. So they may have, him and Willie there may have a little bit more fine-tuning to do, but Kevin was able to come up through the pack to second. They've got, I think Ronnie Ridge is telling them 2 more laps to go, and we're going to see if this new engine has some more get up and go left in it.
Boise's really driving deeper and deeper into turn number 1 with each lap. Oh, and he tagged the wall and hammers the tires coming off at turn 2. Oh, Dr. Boise. He really hung it out, tried to go to the outside, and I see him moving around in the car, taking the gloves off. He was disgusted right off the get-go, and boy, that was a pretty good shot. As Boise tried to go to the outside, off of turn 2, ran out of room, and Kevin hits the wall off of turn 2, then into the tire barrier. Once again, we do see him moving around in the race car with our monitor. The door opens, he's getting out. And he's going to be more disgusted than anything else at this point.
You know, Steve, those tires in that corner are there for a reason. Coming off a corner 2, you sort of get sucked right into there. So that's why we have those tires there, because you know what? That's not the first car to ever hit in that exact same spot. Here's some track trivia for you. 43 years ago, they built this track backwards. That's not the way it's supposed to be. So that's why that corner is like that. Sooner or later, we'll get around to redo it. We're probably going to go with a reshot here of exactly what happens. Kevin Foyce coming in hard up top, hits the corner in corner 2, right into the tires, and that's all she wrote for him. One mistake, that's all it takes.
It's hard to tell from that vantage point, but it looked like perhaps the 32 came up a little or the 57 came down a little. And we're going to take another look at it. But, boy, it was really close racing. They were battling it out for about 10 laps in a row. And you'll just see, here's the wall coming up, and Kevin's running out of room. And you can see him just getting out of the brakes, and he just ran out of room. And, wow, you can see the snapback of the helmet there, and that's the kind of thing that really concerns you.
Some excellent camera work by the Rogers guys on that one too. Catching the action, excellent work. Again, these cars, even though they're smaller, they've got all the safety equipment in them too. You've got roll cages, you've got racing seats, 5-point harnesses, they've got neck braces, they've got helmets, so they're well protected in there. We got Ottawa Towing out there now. It's going to help Kevin take that off. Get him checked out in the ambulance. We did see him walking around, so he'll be okay. And we've got our safety crew out there seeing if there's any spills on the track. While we're waiting, breaking the action, if your company is out there looking for a place to bring everyone down for a company outing, you just don't want to go to the golf course anymore. You've seen that, done that. Bring them out to the racetrack. We've got special VIP booths up here. You can give Rob at our office a call, 831-6648. He'll set you up. It's a great place to bring all your employees in and cheer for your favorite driver, your favorite car.
And the 57 going up on the hook. That's the good side of the race car that you see right now. The other side, not so much.
You know, Steve, when we looked at the replay on that one, it almost looked like the 32 car got a little loose in there and inadvertently bumped Kevin up in there. But Kevin was really high. There was no place to go. I know he's not going to be happy about that, but I don't think that really could have been prevented on from the 32 car.
I think that's one of the racing deals, as they say in the southern states. You know, it's two guys at the same place at the same time, and one guy's closer to the wall. That's what happens, basically. And Boise, the 57, obviously out of the car, and it's being towed off right now by the folks at Ottawa Towing. Boy, that was something else.
We had a good shot of one of our other sponsors out there, Auto Parts Extra and Engines Extra, of course, with all their other partners, Pennzoil, Bosch, all supporting the track, and we thank them. Kenyon's Racing Products, another big sponsor of the track. We thank all of these companies for getting involved in local racing, and we hope by them supporting us that you'll go out and you'll support them. If your company or organization wants to get involved in auto racing or get your name up there, just give us a shout. We'll be happy to help you out on that.
And Boise 57 coming by us here in the front straight now.
Actually doesn't look like that much damage, Steve. I think those tires did their job and cushioned a lot of the blow. And it didn't look as bad as that 34 car of it was Baldock, I think, in the 34. Didn't look as bad as that one, let me tell you.
So now we're down to a 2-lap shootout. You wonder what Sean Kennedy's state of mind is right now after that incident. The tires have been put back where they're supposed to be. And Corey Walsh now becomes the attacker as he rides in second spot. Tyler Cavanaugh in third. Hodgins is a lap down. And so really those top three are the ones that have a shot out of here with 2 laps to go.
Tyler Cavanaugh, one of our drivers coming up from the hobby stock, giving it a try in his new Legend. So we're sure that he's going to give it a good go here too, and we look forward to any of the drivers coming up, moving to the different classes. You want to give it a try. Again, these Legends are the most affordable racing machine out there. About $4,000 buys you one, but $1.50 a night in gas. So if you want to get into racing, this is probably the way to do it.
And a lot of the guys that end up in classes like this started with the Enduro, like the one we're going to have in a couple of weeks. So it's down to shootout time with 2 laps to go. So they're going to get green the first time, white the second time by, and then the checkered flag as it's down to nitty-gritty time down the stretch. Kennedy has led almost all the way, actually, except for turn 1 on the first lap. Green flag is out. Can Corey Walsh do something with them? That's the question. Corey a little late on the gas pedal, and Cavanaugh took a run at him instead of Walsh taking a run at the lead. Kennedy down the back straightaway now. Opens it up a couple of car lengths over Walsh in second spot. There you see the interval as they go into turn 3 and 4. Kennedy starting to run away a little bit. Here they come to the white flag. One more trip around for the feature win. Sean Kennedy trying to finish it off. The first air, number 8 of Corey Walsh, trying to track him down. Kennedy down the back straightaway, headed for turn number 3 for the final time. Looks to have it pretty much in hand. Shootout's going to be for the number 2 spot between Cavanaugh and Walsh. Here they come to the checkered flag. Stephanie waving that checkered flag. Win goes to the 32 of Kennedy. Corey Walsh home second in the number 8. And Tyler Cavanaugh with a very credible number 3 finish in car number 49. Sean slowing it down after a very dramatic win here in the Mini Legends feature. After a titanic struggle with 57 of Kevin Foisey. One ends up in victory lane, one ends up in the shop for the next week and a half. And Kennedy doing the victory lap in the Waste Management number 32. Sean Kennedy with the win in car number 32, bringing back the checkered flag. Corey Walsh, the Canada driver, comes home with the number 2 spot and surviving a late run from Tyler Cavanaugh. And I think that might be Tyler's best run in a Mini Legend ever as he puts in a top 3 performance.
Yeah, Tyler Cavanaugh coming from hobby stock, had some experience putting it now behind his Legend. And I think you're going to see him in a lot of top 3s coming up.
Okay, final feature of the night still to come as Kennedy does a little celebrating down there in victory lane. Got this driver's suit to match the car. Love that.
I tell you, these Waste Management guys really got behind Sean Kennedy. Their whole team looks great. They have they've got the suits, they've got the hats, they've got the new color scheme. They're really set. And we thank Waste Management also for getting behind a really good driver like Sean Kennedy and helping him out to compete even better.
So they're more than just trash talk then.
Well, you know, Sean, they're just cleaning up. Here's our race standings coming up for your sportsman, Steve. We got Ricky Rump in the 96, currently in first position. Lyle Perkins in the number 9. Second position, Todd Musker, your 53 with the Race Sports team. And car number 51, Dave Ostrom, pulling up 4th. Kenny Baird in the 63, currently in 5th place. 92 of Dave Riopel in 6th place. And the 82 of Dave Connolly in 7th place is your current point standings.
It is time to go Sportsman Feature Racing. 25 laps will be the distance. As we close out another night of Rogers Sports Exclusive, and they've taken the hood right off of the 96 of Rick Rump, so no chance of that flying up in his face, that's for sure. Here's the way they're going to go away. 63, Kenny Baird for North Gore goes away from the pool on the Main Street Automotive machine. Beside him in the 51 is Dave Ostrom. Ostrom in the Stinson Fuels, number 51, outside of the front row. He's from Carp. Row 2 on the inside in the Hot Wheels, car number 53 from Canada is Todd Musker. Musker in the 53. And beside him in the Perkins Lumber of North Gore, number 9 is Lyle Perkins. Starting scratch on the field in car number 96, the Top Hat Pro Logic machine, and the driver there, Rick Rump from Carp.
Steve, I wonder if that hood coming off that car is going to give it just that much more airflow through the carburetor and give Ricky even a faster time than normal.
Well, it does mess with the aerodynamics just a little bit. Of course, on the short track, not as big a deal, but the downforce that you have in the turns might be affected a little bit. We'll have to wait and see by how he performs. He's going to have to go from the back in this one.
Nice to see the 63 of Kenny Baird, Main Street Racing, back out, able to make it for the feature.
And Ron and Stephanie are waving the white flag. One more trip around. I think Stephanie likes being up there on the, seeing the view of the race from up top. Okay, 5 cars ready to go. It's showtime. Kenny Baird leading him around through 3 and 4. Ostrom alongside. Musker ready to go. Green flag in the air, and we are underway. Into turn 1. Baird gets the early lead. Ostrom pushes up a little bit in the turn. Boy, that really cost him as he goes all the way back into the number 5 spot. Baird leads him down the back straightaway. Musker is second in the Hot Wheels 53. Rump has already picked up 2 spots as they come around to complete lap number 1, and Ricky wants more. And I'm seeing a little smoke off the 63 of Baird already as he went into turn number 1. We'll have to keep our eye on that. Rump to the inside, try to take away the number 2 spot. He gets it done down the back straightaway. Lyle Perkins trying to fly through as well, as Musker really under the gun right now from a couple of cars. Baird leads the first 2 laps, but I'm really worried about that race car. You can just see that smoke billowing a little bit, and usually it starts with a little and turns into a lot as the race goes on. Here's Rump making his move down the inside. Tries to get alongside going into 3. Baird trying to fight back on the high side of the racetrack. Coming off at turn 4, Rick Rump takes the lead. 3 laps in, he goes from 5th to 1st in a hurry, and the Top Hat 96 is back out front once again.
It's just nice to see Kenny Baird make it past that corner 4. He's had a lot of trouble up in that corner 4, and I just hope that luck just doesn't continue.
Just noticed on that last shot, coming off of turn 4, that the shot the 34 tuck actually moved back the wall a little bit up there between 3 and 4. Unbelievable how hard Bruce Boldock hit earlier on. Here's the battle for second now. Lyle Perkins dipping down low, trying to take away the number 2 spot from Baird as they come off at turn 4. Wheel to wheel down the front straightaway. Perkins gets it done going into turn 1. And Lyle Perkins now wheels the Western Red Cedar number 9 up into the number 2 spot. Baird falls back into 3rd. Musker is running in 4th. Top 4 still all on the lead lap as Rump leads him around. And looks like Perkins is starting to chop into that lead in a hurry. Lyle's car does not seem to come up right off the start very well, but as the race goes on, he gets the tires heated up, seems to get a lot quicker.
Well, Lyle Perkins in the Perkins lumber car, he's had a lot of seat time too, and I think as that car goes more and more, he really starts pushing it, and it starts to perform even better. These guys, of course, this year are on those Hoosier tires, different than than last year, and they're having to get used to like a whole new car. So it's going to take a few races for them to really get the feel back of what their car can do.
With different tires, you need a different setup under the car to make them work as well as they can work. And obviously it takes a little tweaking, a few weeks. At least sometimes it takes guys the whole season to figure it out. Perkins looks like he's in a rocket chair, though, the way he's sitting in that number 9 car, closing in on Ricky Rupp a little bit at a time. Very calm, very composed behind the wheel as he runs in the number 2 spot. Did you see the head there? It's just like Grandpa in the rocket chair, taking it easy. A lot of the drivers, you will notice, actually drive these cars with one hand, because they do have the power steering, and they'll just rest the other hand right on the roll cage and truck around that way.
Well, they also keep it in one gear. Most of them will keep it in either second or third gear and then just brake. So although they're standard cars, they don't want to be messing with the shifting too much. So they're just keeping it in one gear, almost going the same speed through the whole thing. Lyle is in a really good position here. There's still a lot of race left to go. He's just waiting for Ricky to make a mistake, and then he'll take his shot.
And another thing that's a good point to make, David, is they will be using what we would call our clutch pedal for us to drive a regular standard car. They'll be using that on the brake pedal. So at the same time, they have one foot on the gas, the other foot, rather than being on the clutch, is actually on the brake pedal. Of course, not everybody does it that way. It's a matter of preference, but most of the guys will do the 2-foot technique.
Well, these guys are professionals. You know, these are professional race car drivers. They do win money. They get paid for this. So although we're local and it's Ottawa that you're seeing here, these guys are as good as anything else that you'll see on TV. You know, we have a 3/8 mile paved oval here. There's not that many tracks that are actually bigger than this, other than Delaware and I think Cayuga. A lot of them are smaller. So these guys here know what they're doing, and when they go to other tracks, they're in the top there as well. So let's not take anything away from them. They know what they're doing. You can't just put anybody behind one of these cars and expect that they'll do the exact same thing.
So Rump and Perkins are sort of driven away from Kenny Baird in third, and they're going to settle it between the two of them. We're past the halfway point now, in around lap 15, so 10 to go. And Perkins still riding in the number 2 spot behind Rick Rump in the 96. Top 2 in the point standings, top 2 in the race. And you know that Perkins is probably doing a little testing now. And again, sizing up where the guy's weakness is, where's the best place to make a move. Here comes a lap car of Dave Ostrom into the equation, and sometimes you can use that car as a pick if you plan it right. So I imagine that's going through Lyle Perkins' head right now as they thunder down the back straightaway another time.
Just want to bring up again, Steve, that there's a lot of racing excitement coming to Ottodrome in the next couple of weeks. You've got those Can-Am midgets coming in on June the 30th, and of course our big rock and race weekend. You know, we got concerts, demolition derby, drag racing, enduros. We got a lot of stuff packed into the next couple of weeks. We've got the return of the pro trucks next week. You know, if you want to see racing or you want to enjoy it, if you've never come out before, this is your perfect opportunity to experience a whole wide range of racing here at Ottodrome Speedway. Keep checking our website, www.ottodrome.com, for complete information, scheduling, what's going on, and we'd love to see you come out to the track.
Well, Lyle Perkins has got to start pushing the issue a little bit if he's going to get by Ricky Rump here. He's running out of laps rapidly. Rump very smooth, continues to lead in car number 96, and Perkins, for the most part, has been able to stay with him, but actually drops the car length off as Lyle got a little loose coming off of turn 2 that time, and that cost him some real estate. He's going to have to reel the 96 back in again. And Ricky's not making too many mistakes. Look at how close he is to that yellow line off of turn 2 with 5 to go. Perkins actually looks like Lyle might be slowing down. I wonder if there's something that has started to, a little puff of smoke there as he came off of turn 4. And maybe something's going to miss. And look at how hot those brakes are as well. You can see them glowing in the dark here. So maybe a couple mechanical problems being thrown into the equation for Perkins in the number 9, as he's not being able to drive it down and deep into turn number 3 as he would like. Maybe that presents Kenny Baird with an opportunity to pick off a second place finish after all tonight.
Ricky Rump just dominating this Sportsman Series here at Ottodrome, coming up with win after win after win. I'm sure he's going to push these other competitors to even be better competitors, and maybe challenge them a little more in the upcoming races. We do have that other sportsman coming out, the number 83, coming out with driver to be named out shortly. That'll add another car to the class, and we believe that the Vector car, the Dave Connolly's Race Sport, should be fixed shortly, and that will add another car to this field too. So this class just keeps growing and growing.
Last lap for Rick Rump as he tries to go wire to wire, basically, all but the first 3 laps for the 96 as he drives it down the back straightaway for the last time. Perkins giving it everything he can and actually closed in quite a bit going in through that time. Here they come to the checkered flag. Stephanie waving the checkered flag to close out the evening. And another win by Rick Rump in the top hat, number 96. Second goes to Lyle Perkins. Perkins with the window net down. Congratulations, Ricky, on a good run as he drives by down the back straightaway. Some good sportsmanship there. And Kenny Baird coming home with a number 3 position finish in car 63. Fourth goes to Todd Musker in the 53. And the number 5 spot goes to Dave Ostrom, 1 lap down in car number 51. So Ricky drives it into victory lane to pick up the checkered flag, get his photo taken, and celebrate a victory here tonight at Ottodrome International Speedway. David, some final thoughts on a fairly good night of racing, especially a couple of great finishes in the Mini Legends and the Hobbies.
Well, nice clean racing tonight, and lots of excitement in all the different classes. Looking forward to sunny days, sunny Wednesdays, and a lot more racing to Ottawa. And we appreciate the fans coming out, and we hope you'll join us every Wednesday here at Ottodrome International Speedway. Of course, we do have our other programs, Friday and Saturday drag cruise nights. Run what you brung, you want to come out for those, and our motorcycle days as well. So all sorts of different types of racing here at Ottodrome.
And as Rick Rump drives it into victory lane, we're going to take it home right now. For Stephanie Laverne and David Malabat, I'm Steve Young saying so long. Thanks for being with us here on a Rogers exclusive from Ottodrome International Speedway. Rick Rump picking up the win in the Sportsman feature.